Hello. That's the new Nielsen Ratings opening titles. I hope that people approve. Did you approve, Rachel, Percy, Art?
Oh, yeah. I approve. Definitely. Means
Fantastic.
I can never leave now.
No, that's right. You're contract for life. I forgot to mention that. And good to see some people in the chat. Got some of the regulars here. Blue Collar Loser, who was indeed one of the panelists presently residing in the Where Are They Now crowd, is in our chat tonight. Good to see you, mate. You know you're welcome back anytime. Let's bring in the rest of our panelists before Rachel's air conditioning unit dominates the audio for the rest of the evening. We have World Toxic himself. Welcome, sir.
Hello, how are you, sir? Hello, Rachel.
Hey.
Well, I'm not too bad, sir. I do like it when you do your English accent. It always gets me a bit tingly.
That's why I do it.
Absolutely fantastic. Great to have you on the show. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Predator, Killer of Killers. Lots to say about that. Gold Season 2, the drama series on BBC, and more. Ballerina is a film that a friend of mine is in. I know some of you guys have seen it. I haven't yet, so I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts on that. Not least, Northern Bastards. How are you, sir?
Hello, you beautiful bastards.
Hello. And I am beautiful, but not a bastard. How are you?
Could have fooled me. But yeah, glad to be on here again. And yeah, the stuff we're talking about now, especially one that starts with the letter P, I do have a lot to say about that, and I'm sure you all do too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to get into it. I mean, I've got mixed feelings about it, but I'm not going to completely trash it because there were some good ideas. But we'll get into it. So yeah, then we have next on the roster the Inside Man. Bit of a full house tonight. Okay, he's eating, and so we'll add Stupenzo, my regular co-host and king of the Mexican food.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah. All right, I'm here. Okay. All right, good.
That's right.
Well, we got a full panel here. I mean, 4 is a full panel. We've got 6, and I did have other people asking if they could come on today. So just to remind people, when I come, well, once I'm through the filming maelstrom, starting again in July, I will be doing After Open Bar, which is the show late at night I do for about an hour or so after Open Bar. That is an open door policy show. So any other YouTuber, as long as you've got a YouTube channel, you just have to say you're there in the chat and I'll bring you on. As long as there's space, I'll bring you on. Does mean you have to stay up late. Yeah, Inside Man, you missed your introduction. Too late now. Okay.
No, well, you kept me out of the stream for ages, so I just went for a quick.
Went for a sandwich.
I went for a kebab.
You did what you always did. You went and stuffed your face somewhere. Anyway, another thing I want to talk about is the new trailer for Aliens Earth. I mean, you know, now, yeah, okay, well, we'll talk. the noises are so unforgiving. We'll talk about it in just a moment. I am going to show some clips, and we'll be risking copyright flags and things. We'll see what happens. I'll pause it every so often. But before we get into all of those, I think the hot topic of tonight, and indeed our thumbnail done by the wonderful Stupenzolicious, is Predator, Killer of Killers. Now, I watched this. I watched some of it last night, fell asleep twice, and thought, well, either I'm tired or it's crap. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to watch it with fresh eyes in the morning. So that was what I did. It is an animation with an interesting animation style. It's an R-rated movie. It's about 90 minutes or so long. It's effectively 3 miniature stories about 3 people in 3 different time zones. One from Norse mythology, Danish Vikings, that kind of thing. Somebody from the samurai era of Japan. And then the clip set during the war of the, well, it's not the Pacific War, although you would think it was. It's the North Atlantic / we appear to now be in the Mediterranean War which is one of my massive complaints about it that I'm going to come into in a second. But yeah, the third segment is World War II, and then we kind of have an ending where all three of these characters end up on the Predator planet and supposedly have to fight each other, but that's not quite what happens. I don't want to get into too many spoilers. It was an unusual decision to do a Predator film that was animated. I have to say, I didn't mind the fact that it was animated. I'm going to talk about what I liked about it first. What I liked about it was the expansion of the Predator universe. There were some things that they expanded that I thought were really good. There were other things that clearly the writers had seen in the Star Wars prequels that they thought were really good ideas that we'd already seen before. And I was like, what the fuck is this? So there were a few moments like that. I liked the new Predator weapons. I thought they were very cool. And I liked the basic story of people from cool warriors from different timelines being taken and kind of frozen and kept on ice for sort of gladiatorial games. It's kind of interesting. So there's an interesting melting pot of ideas in here. The problem is the execution. And the sense of disbelief in a combat scenario, you can only take that sense of disbelief so far. If you're going to put the man crawling out onto the wing of his fighter plane with a hammer to fix part of his plane whilst it's flying due to something he wedged in the cockpit, and he's going to stay on that plane, I'm sorry, I just call complete horseshit. That would not happen in any universe, in any time, anywhere, ever, not even in a James Bond movie. It was so ridiculously farcical that just kind of ruined that entire sequence. If they'd kept it a bit more grounded, a bit more realistic, same for the other two sequences. My favorite segment of this entire piece was the stuff set in the samurai era. And actually, if they had done, there was almost, what I really liked about that section was there was almost no dialogue in that section. And I thought, wouldn't it have been great if they'd done an animated movie about those two brothers with that storyline? It had been the whole 90 minutes and there's a Predator in it and there had been no dialogue in the entire film. I reckon they could have done it, and everything was conveyed with looks and stuff. They did it for 30 minutes. They could do it for 90. That could have been an amazing Predator movie. That could have been an amazing live action Predator movie. So there were some great ideas in here. I feel like this film got cobbled together from different people, probably pitched different Predator concepts. Somebody pitched a Japan one, somebody pitched a World War II one, and some executive went, I know what we'll do, we'll put them all in the same film. And that of itself is interesting, but the way it was done, not great. So I have to say, although there are some good ideas, there's some interesting bits, there are some things I like. Overall, for me, this was utter nonsense. It just, some of the monsters and things, like the big monster that comes out in the Predator arena, just didn't feel like the Predators would have that. It just didn't seem like something that would be on the Predators planet. It just seemed stupid. The whole thing of somebody getting trapped in the stomach of the creature, we've seen this in Star Wars, it's all been done before. There was a lot of stuff in it that just reeked of kind of naff plagiarism, and it was a shame because there were some good things. Okay, so that's my thoughts on it. I didn't hate it, but I did find it very disappointing. I thought it could have been a lot better. I'll save my rating for the end. Rachel, Percy, tell me what you liked about it first. I know that's hard, but get into that first.
I liked the idea behind it. I liked what they were trying to do. Like, the second story was the best story. The first story, I would say, was the second best. And that third one...
the third one was rubbish.
My God. They tied it together at the end. I enjoyed the end part, even though it had things that, I've seen this before. I've seen this before in Star Wars and a lot of other things. But it's such a mixed bag, and I wanted to love it. I loved about 60% of it, but that 40%, Woo, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. The things that are wrong with it are very wrong, and it has got some strong ideas. Okay, so the things you disliked about it, I'm guessing echoed many of my own thoughts. Is there anything additional you want to say there?
My issues started in the very first story. There's no way that what that woman does is possible.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a straight fantasy story, what she does and how she does it, no. And from there, I'm like, oh, I need to shut my brain completely off to watch this movie and fully enjoy it. I tried, but I have to breathe. So.
Okay, Toxic. Let's hear what you liked about it first, if indeed you've seen it.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, and I enjoyed more of it than I thought that I would. I think I'm going to be echoing everybody else by saying the samurai ninja thing was my favorite, and
yeah, it was great.
I thought that was the best of the anthology thing going on. I didn't hate the World War II thing, but yeah, you were right. As soon as he gets out on the freaking wing, I was like, all right, well, now this is just ridiculous now. So like,
and then you've got the bit later where he's like, oh, I think I know how to fly one of these things.
Yeah, I can fly a spaceship.
Yeah. That was like right out of Independence Day. So
I will say this: if they were gearing this towards people who don't know really anything about the Yautjas or any of the lore or whatever, then they might be onto something, because my girlfriend's never seen any of the Predator stuff, she's never seen anything Predator wise. Wow. And so she watched this with me because she kind of had to, and she liked it. She thought it was interesting. She pointed out a couple things that I didn't catch. So I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. She asked a question that I guess I'll save till the end for someone smarter than me to answer. But other than that, some of the animation's not even that great. It's like they kind of like ran out of money at some point, because some of the animation's just like really subpar. And I don't mean the Samurai Ninja storyline. I mean like some of the other stuff. Just I was like, what are we looking at here? This
some of the animation in the first segment seemed very poor, and I was like, wow, this seems a bit cheap. But the coloring and stuff in the samurai segment is completely different. It's a totally different experience.
I guess ultimately, just to wrap it up, I'm just disappointed that they took these. I think it's great to take an existing IP that everybody knows for like 40 years and do something different with it. I like that, but and I've been waiting for years to see a ninja go toe to toe with we got a little taste of that in the 2010 Predators movie, but he was more like just a Yakuza assassin or whatever. So I was like, why, like if you have all this stuff to work with and it's animation, so you can literally do anything, like they really kind of just like shot below the bar with it. So I was just kind of like, well, all right, well, whatever, if this is the best we're going to get. I think it's set up for a sequel or something, or they're going to do more of them depending, but I mean, I don't know. They need to really up their game if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, our background noise, by the way, is not Rachel. My apologies, Rachel. It's actually Stupenzolicious who's got some kind of background issue with his mic today. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Hang on.
Yeah, there it is.
Is that better?
No, not really. It was for a second. Then it came back again. Let me continue. Yeah, thanks, Toxic. Okay, Northern. What did you like about it first?
Oh, I'm trying to find something that's not been echoed already, but yeah, it is the Japanese storyline. It's the only one where I actually cared about the characters, and I think it still suffers from the Predator just barging in straight head on into a fight instead of just basically using his environment to his advantage, because that's what they are. They're very the hunters, aren't they? They're very strategic, they're very tactical. But God, it was miles better than old lady girl boss Viking, which I don't think they had back in the Viking days. I think it was mostly just old, big burly men, not big burly women.
Right.
Were you,
Yeah.
as Ridley Scott would say, were you there?
No, but I do. There is Google. There's Google these
Okay.
days. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I
Well,
agree.
mean,
That World War II, him on the plane, I was just like, what the hell is happening here? Shouldn't he be like struggling to breathe at that altitude, or doesn't he need someone to actually handle the plane while he's on that wing? It reminded me of
it was
Hot
written
Shot.
by a 7-year-old, clearly. I
Yeah.
mean, with no appreciation of aeronautical dynamics whatsoever. I mean,
It's
it
written
was
by
a shame
someone who has
because-
no appreciation of the actual law or what these predators are. These are hunters. These aren't like space fighters or people that just barge in. They aren't brawlers. They're hunters. They're very smart. They act just like
well,
bullies
yeah.
in a charm shop.
It was a shame. I mean, I like the idea of them kind of arriving on Earth when there's a flying combat going on, and it would have been more interesting if that had happened on a patrol where the Americans were fighting the Japanese, and then suddenly maybe they will have to team up to beat the Predator, which is cutting the crap out of both sides. That could have been kind of interesting.
Yeah,
but
and I think I've seen people demanding it to be set in like feudal Japan and have the guy from Shogun as the lead taking on the Predator. That would have been really cool.
I would love to see a Predator movie set in feudal Japan. I think that would be absolutely fantastic. It would be great to see that, and you could have like a team of ninjas go after the Predator to try and take him out. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things you could do. Michael Biehn was in this, playing the character on screen now.
Wasted.
He deserves better. He really did.
The only way
He's good in this, though. He is good in this. The voice acting is actually very good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the voice acting was perfectly fine. Just some of the physical elements and story were nonsense. But yeah, okay.
Technically, he has now been killed by the big three.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's three now. Great.
Yeah, the big three being the Predator, Alien, and what's the third one?
The Terminator.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so
there you
he
go.
and Bill Paxton can join that big three in the sky when he starts to pass.
Oh, well.
Jeez, don't do that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Christ. No. Ignore me, God, please.
We've only just got over Val Kilmer. Damn, man! I just checked your channel. You've just lost 20 subs. Okay, so Inside Man. Inside Man, did you see this?
Well, the thing that I loved most about this, and it's a big thing. The thing
Is that you didn't watch
it is that I didn't actually watch it, and that I'm never likely to watch it, and I'm not interested in watching it. And I think anything after Predator 2 is garbage, and I'm not in the slightest bit interested. So
okay, all right, we'll move on from Inside Man's insights there. Stupenzo, last but by no means least, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like it either, but I didn't hate it. I mean, there's a thing of it. Here's the thing. I was hearing a lot of this talk about, like, we need a Predator movie about ninjas. We need a Predator movie about Vikings. I kind of like how they just, like, we don't need feature-length film. We don't need to do the Predator movie over and over again in different type settings. Just make a little anthology like this. I think I would have liked it if the animation styles were switched up a bit. They did the arcane animation style the whole movie. I guess it kind of makes sense when they kind of go to the fourth story. I guess they all should be cohesive because it's technically one story. But I'm not going to get into the leaps of logic or the plot points. I mean, yeah, they're the greatest warriors on Earth, and they got to fight a predator, and the humans always win. I mean, that's how it works. I did like when the first predator shows up in the first story and just starts like murking like everybody. Like, that was great. And then it just got really silly with the ice skating fight. But, I think this is one of the few times where I would recommend watching it at double speed, because not only is like it more action-packed, but also it does fix that jittery frame rate that this animation has that I did not care for. That was pretty, like, there was like the stuttering. It just looked kind of stroby. I don't know. I didn't like it that much, but
it felt. It felt like PlayStation 3 cutscenes.
It did.
Well, I saw, some people criticizing it. It looks like video game graphics. Like, I don't really mind stylistically what they did here. I just think like the fluidity of everything, it had this like stop motion kind of look, and it got a little weird. But like I said, you watch it double speed, it's not there. Yeah, I don't know. It was just mid, but I don't care because like, I don't care if you're doing like this fanfic anthology type thing, like maybe non-canonical, but of course they have to reference Prey, They have to bring back the gun. They have to literally show her in the fucking cryo tube or whatever. It's like, we don't care about her at all. If it was Dutch in that cryo tube at the end, that would have been sick. We would have been like, whoa.
Exactly.
Who cares about the... Yeah. If it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, like in a fucking cryo tube, that would have been cool. But yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. But again, like I said, not terribly offensive. I was just kind of meh about it. There were some parts I liked action wise. I mean, it was a cool cartoon, That's basically all there is to it. And it's like, we're talking about like the lore of the Predator, and it's really just like, who cares? They go to Earth, they kill people, they go to planets and they kill monsters, it's just like, how deep do we have to get with this, And it's like, you're going to introduce giant Rancor type characters on the Predator planet. Go for it. I don't care. Go for it. Just go for it. Whatever. Do whatever you fucking want. Because like, this is, like I said, this is just like some fanfic anthology. Do whatever you want. And like I said, I'm glad that we got this instead of like a 90-minute ninja movie, that like was very pretentious and took itself too seriously. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I definitely would love to see a Shogun Predator type film, I think
this is just one of those things where, like, yeah, continuity wise, it's like I just don't like the idea that like the Predators have been coming to Earth for like a long time, and I don't mind that, I guess, but it's just better if they haven't been, like, I don't know. Same thing.
Did
with
you
aliens,
see the?
We're talking.
Did you see the number of pods?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That was like
that was
ridiculous.
Stupid.
I mean, we see the pods and we see that there's like various alien creatures in a bunch of them, but yeah, I mean, that's just a lot. It's just too much.
Okay, Lance,
sometimes less is more.
Yes.
Go ahead, Toxic.
Okay, so one thing me and my girlfriend didn't understand. So were they like, how did they keep the three different people from the three different eras? Did they like time travel, or were they in suspended animation?
No, they're in suspended animation.
Yeah.
This is like, if you look at this shot here, this is the shot from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
Men.
top men.
I mean, on the one hand, and I can see some studio executives screaming out, "Yeah, great, we'll do that shot from Raiders, and we'll have it packed full of pods, and it will basically show that the Predators have been visiting Earth for decades and centuries, and these are all the people that have defeated them." And I was thinking, Jesus, if you've been defeated by this many humans over that period of time, you probably would have fucked off and gone to a different planet by now. But it's there should be like 20 people that have defeated a Predator in this time.
Because it ruins the specialness of it, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is like, you're sort of saying, hey, there's like 10,000 people that have killed Predators over the years.
Right.
It's just so naff, man.
Yeah, so what a load of old rubbish.
They're really going out.
Benzo's mum says he is cool. So
yeah, it's Millhouse right there. My mom says I'm cool.
Yeah, there you go. So, silly Predators, they never learn.
That was
a delayed laugh.
He's off.
That was an eerily uncanny impersonation of an obscure character.
Obscure or Millhouse is Bart's best friend. He's got so many great jokes.
I mean, right.
I'm gonna put. I got my name in the game. I got my name in the game. It's Thrill House, and then it cuts to Thrill Ho. Is his name?
So, if you, who's that guy that does Alf on your channel? I've asked him to come on at some point. I'm going to do a show.
Tony.
With him.
Tony Stark.
Tony, right? Tony. Me and Tony are going to do like the next time we do a fictionalized stream about a movie that doesn't really exist. Tony's going to come on and do some of the characters for me. I just haven't had time to sit down and do it yet. But man, if I get him on with Inside Man will just like crack up for the entire stream because he's so good. Tony's so good. Talking of which, we have Toonie Boy in the stream I've not seen before. So I swear that laugh had a wind up. Yeah, there is actually a huge key in the back of Inside Man's back. I'm looking forward to turning it on set every day.
No, what you do is you put 10 pence in the top of my head, and there it goes.
Yeah. Go wandering off around the set. Okay, well, look, yeah, I think we're all in agreement that there were some good ideas here. There were some good concepts. There were some interesting things. There were some cool weapons. But there was also a lot of stuff that was a bit naff. There was a lot of stuff that just really wouldn't have happened in any universe, let alone the Predator universe. And you know what really
helps me gauge my expectations about a new movie is when there's a fucking streaming platform logo on it. You know, like if this looks cool, and then I see the Netflix logo or the Hulu logo in the bottom corner, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's gonna be okay at best. It's gonna be good at best. It'll be.
It was great when this guy came on. Because this guy was like the jock pilot, like, you know, the guy who would bully you at school, but was still somehow cool at something. And he was this is the cool jock pilot. He's even got a target painted on him, if you look, technically.
Look,
and then, like he gets this thing on his plane.
Yeah. I like the idea, you know, Viking warrior killing a predator or a ninja warrior killing a predator. Fine. But you're telling me, like, in an aircraft battle, we're going to take on predators in their spaceships? What the fuck?
Yeah,
how does that work at all?
That one was just so stupid. They were pod racing at one point.
Wasn't this actually based on a true story at some point?
Yeah, apparently your biography.
Yeah. I'm sure I read somewhere this was based on a true story.
Well, who knows? Okay, marks out of 10. What are we giving it? I'm going to give it a soft 6. Rachel?
Soft 6.
I'd give it a 5. Like, you can have fun with it, but the stuff it does to the lore and bringing that pain in the butt back at the end, no.
Yeah.
5.
Okay. Toxic. Toxic, your marks out of 10. Is he muted? He's muted. For
muted, yeah.
He's going for the poo.
Okay.
Just go over him for a second.
Yeah, all right. Northern?
I'm going to have to give it a 2. It's a total disregard to the actual law and everything that made the first 2 Predator movies good. Great.
A 2. Okay, Stupenzo.
Yeah, I'd give it a 6. It's slightly above mid. It's if this was a comic book, you know, who cares? You know, the comic books did a lot of wacky shit, you know, or a video game, you know. The lore is all right. Toxic's back. He's still muted.
Okay, Toxic, what would you give Predator's Killer of Killers out of 10?
10. I give it a 5. Just based on the ninja thing. It was cool to see. I've been wanting to see a ninja go up against a predator since I was 10 years old, so that was kind of cool. So it's at least
dirty boy.
Yeah. Okay, and the woman from Monty Python who's joined us this evening gives it a 10 out of 10. All right. Okay, we're gonna move on.
I did like bald predator design. I like the predators like individual looks. You know, they were cool. You know.
Yeah, there was a lot of interesting things in it design-wise. I agree, but just, you know, I don't know who was writing the script, but anyway, all right, let's move on. We've got a lot of other stuff to cover. So
somebody's creative writing class.
Yeah, indeed. The big thing that's dropped at cinemas this week, which also has my good friend Sharon Duncan Brewster in it, and she also made the poster. Very proud of you, Sharon. Always. Yeah, she's in Ballerina, I believe. She's the teacher of the female assassins. This is her tiny little image of her. She's the smallest on the poster, so I guess that's kind of the pecking order. And she didn't make the top billing block there, which is a real shame. She's an incredibly talented actress. So Ballerina. What's that?
Yeah, she was pretty good in that. I remember her character being One of the more memorable
She was
ones.
her first job out of drama school was Bad Girls. But she was in June. She played
remember
Dr.
it.
Vines in June.
Yeah, I remember her character. Yeah, she was real good in that.
All right, so who has seen Ballerina? Put your yellow hands up now on screen. You know, who's seen it? So Northern, I think you've seen it.
Yes, I have seen it. So it's Toxic.
Okay.
Don't know if Inside Stupenzolicious.
Rachel, you seen it?
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, so
I
Toxic
didn't
and
watch
Northern.
any of the John Wick sequels either.
Yeah, fair enough. Toxic and Northern, this is really your segment then. Tell us what you think of it. Tox, you go first.
I thought it was great. Like Northern said, we just did a review right before your show came on today, and kind of a fresh out of the theater type thing. I'm looking forward to going again and watching it tonight. It has its flaws, but it's a kind of a different story. I keep hearing it referred to as like John Wick light, and that's supposed to be clever, but it's not like that. It's like it's a side story. It's like if you dug the New Hope prequel thing, the Rogue story, the Rogue One thing. If you dug that, and you're a John Wick fan, you'll dig this. I found a couple of the last like 3 and 4 John Wick movies to be kind of tedious, if I'm being honest. I mean, I still watch them and I still enjoy them, but they were really, the whole bulletproof suit jacket bullshit and a bunch of other stuff, and him arm barring someone and flipping him around and shooting him in the head, and doing that with 30 guys in a row, and they just send these endless amount of people after him. It's just got lame, and I like seeing hot chicks with weapons messing people up.
Preferably yours.
Yeah. I like that they, her story is her story, and the way they train her is because she's a female, she's got to cheat. I worked with females in the military, and they're taught kind of the same. They had some cool action set pieces, including the one you've got on screen right now, where they use some interesting weapons. I mean, it had a couple nitpick flaws about stretching believability of stuff, but didn't all the John Wick movies, except for the first one, really stretch believability? I mean, how many times did John Wick fall down a flight of stairs in part 4? I was like, dude, come on. It's like, stop it. I liked Keanu's appearance in it, although he did seem a little tired and old in it. But I mean, if you go along the assumption that it takes place between 3 and 4, it works. Like I said, my stuff is very nitpicky. I would have preferred, the only big critique I have that is against it is the fact that they don't have a good villain in this. They're really lacking, and Gabriel Byrne is really phoning it in. Without giving too much away, I know a lot of you guys haven't seen it, so I don't want to spoil it. But I mean, Gabriel Byrne he's a weak T villain in this, to say the least. But everything else, I very much enjoyed it. I'm gonna, like I said, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go watch it again.
Okay, well, that's a pretty strong recommendation from one of the people on the panel.
Does Ana de Armas get naked in this?
No.
Damn it. All right.
Well, he's not going to watch it now.
Okay, Northern, the sound timer is on. Give me your summary. What did you like? What didn't you like?
Well, I think Ana de Armas really could have used a lot more material to work with, at least to help her develop her character a little bit, though. She handles the action scenes pretty well. There was a couple of times where she takes a bit more damage and it took me out of it, but when she's using stuff like anything she can grab in her environment, I think she handles it really well, and she's trying her best. You can tell she's really trained hard, but I think John Wick 4 has kind of overloaded my circuitry for mindless action, and right now it just comes off a little bit more standard. But it's not a spiteful film. I still think it's okay. I don't think it's terrible. It's just an okay film. That's it. A very okay film.
Is the action more grounded in this and less extravagant?
Yes.
I prefer that personally, because I find, the John Wick films are what they are, but I get that they are deliberately over the top. But
yeah, it's a little bit more like the first movie.
I don't need to see him fall down a staircase 5 times or whatever. And also that shootout at that car roundabout just kind of that bordered on the ridiculous.
It did
at one stage.
Yeah, she the stuff that she does is not out of like way out of pocket that someone can do. And you know, I've heard some terms like, you know, they umbrellaed it by the fact that, you know, they say, hey, you got to fight like a girl, and that's but then she doesn't fight like a girl. No, she does though. Probably I'd also maybe, I guess I would criticize Norman Reedus is really out of place in this movie. Like he looks like he walked off the set of The Walking Dead and just you wandered into here on accident. It's really weird. I like
how was my friend in the film?
She's great. She's a good you believe her. I think I could have preferred her to get a little more screen time, really. But I mean, the time she gets is, you know, it's the usual teacher student type thing, and she has to get her to do, and of course she's gonna make a decision that the student doesn't really like and go against her trainer, as always happens, you know, hero's journey type stuff. But yeah, she's good.
Sharon is just such an incredible actress, man. She's unbelievably talented. She's so good. I mean, just like if you watch her range of her work that she's done so many different roles, and I've seen her in 5 plays as well, on stage. And you know, when I saw she was in this, oh man, so made up for her. It's just like when she got June. I mean, June was like such a big deal. And this is another big iconic universe. Not, you know, she's done Star Wars, so
yeah,
Marvel's next, probably.
A thought occurs to me is that you know how like there's times when they have a diverse cast and it's kind of forced into it, and you're just like, dude, what are you doing? But with the fact that they grab these orphans from all over and turn them into assassins or assassin adjacent type people, it kind of makes sense. So then you kind of understand, okay, well, I could see this chick being in the Russian mafia hit squad. Like it makes sense for, you know, the purposes of the story. So, you know, it doesn't pull you out. So yeah, that's something I hadn't considered till you know, made a point about that. But yeah, it's good. I like it. It's not one of those things that, like I said, 2 of the John Wick movies are just utterly, in my opinion, ridiculous. I think like after the second one, they start really going off the rails. Not that I didn't watch them, and I think this one also, something to point out is, without giving too much away, her enemies are not the same thing as like the John Wick enemies. So like she's not dealing with like super soldier, you know, like geared up dudes that are like the top elite assassin class. She is she's dealing with a whole different thing that's never been introduced into this world before. But at the same time doesn't feel like it's shoehorned in. Again, I got to be careful what I say without spoiling, but I mean, so
sure.
Make of that what you will.
All right. Our time on this one is up. So ratings out of 10 from you guys. I'd like to hear what people rate it in the chat as well. If you've seen it, give it a rating out of 10. What would you give it, Toxic?
I'm going to give it a good solid 8. Good solid 8 out of 10.
Okay. And Northern?
I give it a good 6.5 out of 10. Like I said.
All right. 6.5. Severe. Okay. Well, Ballerina's out. So some people love it. Some people think it's okay. No one hates it. No one thinks it's crap. It's got a mixed response. Aaron says 7 out of 10. And then, you know, we could put other comments up, but let's just put the lovely Sherry's comment back up again, because Inside Man asked if I would. Okay.
The 2 obvious reasons.
Oliver Hollingdale, filmmaker, is in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. And we look forward to you coming on and talking to my panel of critiquists about your film. He said the John Wick franchise has become the Fast and Furious ridiculous. And Ollie is a big fan of the John Wick franchise. He actually also looks a bit like John Wick. So I might see if I can find a picture of him to show that. Does anybody know what business it's doing at the box office? Anyone know? Is it doing well? Has it done a good opening weekend? Paul Smith says Sharon Duncan Brewster is another extremely underrated actress that is starting to get some respect. I'd say actually that she's been rated within the industry for quite a number of years. It's just, you know, there's quite a few actors that have been rated for quite a while who are only now just starting to get somewhere. Another one of those I'm going to talk about shortly, who I think's a fantastic actor who we're going to be seeing a lot more of. But yeah, I think in an international scale, you're right, she's underrated. But within the British film industry, she's extremely highly rated and probably has been for about 10 years, maybe even a bit longer than that. So, okay, we're going to move on from Ballerina to one of my picks for this week. So, Gold, the TV series, there's also a documentary about it, which I hope Toxic didn't get wrong and watched by accident. This is a 2-season show. It's the true story of the Brinksmat gold robbery, which was the biggest robbery heist in British history. At the time, 28 million pounds worth of gold bars were stolen from a deposit warehouse just outside Heathrow Airport. The robbers actually didn't know it was going to be there. They went there to rob $200,000 worth of travelers' checks and instead stumbled across 20 million plus bars of gold. The value of the gold would be worth nearly 300 million today. The first season covers predominantly the robbery itself and what happened in the immediate aftermath, who got arrested, who got sent to prison, and so on. This is the actor Jack Lowden, who some of you may have seen in Dunkirk. He was also in 71. He had a very small role in that, which is when I first noticed him. He's getting a lot bigger parts now. He plays a main character in both seasons, and I think he's pretty damn good, funnily enough. And he was a suggestion for casting for my Pegasus Bridge film, so we wanted him for one of the glider pilots. Yeah, and you've got Hugh Bonneville as the copper who's leading the investigation to try and track them all down. But it's a true story drama. It's not the only drama that's been made about this subject. There was a one made about the subject in the 90s starring Sean Bean. But a lot of the robbers, there were 6 people that participated in the robbery. Most of them were arrested fairly quickly, but the gold was passed on to other parties, and the second season covers those people who didn't take part in the robbery but did have the gold pass through their fingers. A lot of those people are now dead. Some of them have been assassinated. Isn't it funny how this picture looks like, what's his name from YouTube? Gary. Does that not look like Gary? Does that not look like Gary from YouTube in that picture? What's his name? You know, the guy that's
Nerdrotic.
Yeah, Nerdrotic. That looks like Nerdrotic in that photo. Didn't know he was in the TV series. There you go. So it's international co-production. It's shot in Spain, England, so it's got quite big production values. I think the second season is less gripping than the first, if I'm honest. And they were pushing it to do a second season, but not a bad show, particularly if you like your true story crime dramas. I would give it a go. It's currently on BBC iPlayer. Overall, I would give the first season a solid 8 out of 10. Second season, a solid 7 out of 10. Still both good, great performances. Just the second season is just not quite as gripping as the first. Did anybody else get a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I gave it a shot. If I'm honest with you, I think maybe because I knew the story quite well, and believe it or not, strangely, on a personal level, I knew this story. I know of one of those people that was involved in that. So I
have a friend who was on the robbery. What advice can you give him?
It didn't.
I mean, my friend.
It didn't really give anything else to the story that I already knew. To be honest with you, it's not. I don't know. It was okay. It was serviceable, but it just didn't really sort of add anything to anything that I already knew. Really.
Fair enough. What would you give it out of 10?
Good 7, I'd say. I mean, it's good. It's good, but I just think it's quite mediocre, really. Yeah, sorry.
No, that's all right. I think, you know, there's definitely a lot of things in it that could have been better, for sure. I think the music was sort of didn't particularly stand out or captivate me. So but it did have a very good cast, which is what made it watchable. So that was one of the things that kept me interested, because I like their performances. Anybody else watch it apart from myself and the Inside Man?
I have only just watched the first episode because I did not know this was a 2-series thing.
Right. So you've seen the first episode of season 1?
Yeah, and I will try and watch the others because it does actually look interesting. It don't look like
you don't have to. Just watch it if you want to watch it. But if that was enough, that's fine. Anyone else? Anyone? Okay. Penzo, what you got for us this week?
New movie starring Nicolas Cage. We watched the trailer a while back and thought it looked cool. It was cool. It's called The Surfer. It was dope. I
want to see this film.
And it was not. It did. I was thinking like it's gonna be like Nick Cage is gonna go John Wick on all these dudes. No, it's nothing like that. It's trippy. It's weird, and it was fun. The sweltering heat of the Australian beach. This was a good one, and this is one of those movies where the main character is like slowly going insane. It was like The Game, kind of, where you're like wondering what the hell is even happening, what's real and what's not. It was just great, and Nicolas Cage is he's been known to ham it up. He's pretty reserved at first, and then he builds up to like the hamminess, so it really worked. And the guy who played Dr. Doom in the original, the 90s, 2000s Fantastic Four movies, he was in Nip Tuck, whatever. He's like the main Australian gang member, cult leader, whatever you want to call it. He was great. He was fantastic in this movie. And this movie was just really good summer movie. Those movies that just transport you in that weather. This one does a great job with that. I don't know if they did like a digital effect to make it look like the heat wave, or if they literally were just like capturing it on camera, but it was awesome. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much about it. All you got to know is Nick Cage is trying to buy a house where he grew up in Australia on the beach, and there's a little bit of localism going down on the beach. Don't live here, don't surf here, mate. A lot of that, and it's just like, it's kind of one of those movies where like you're thinking like, how much is this guy gonna let go? How much is this guy gonna look past and just let slide before he loses his cool? It was actually pretty awesome. And Nick Cage is one of the executive producers on this, so it's good. He's been, like I said, there was a period of time a few years back where he was starring in some crap, straight to streaming garbage. But now, he's going to act forever because of the enormous debt he's in, spending too much money buying Tyrannosaurus Rex skulls and stuff.
He bought a castle, didn't he? Buy a castle or something?
Yeah. So if you're gonna be, acting in movies because you're financially obligated to forever until you die, you might as well pick good movies, And if you can't, if good movies aren't coming your way, start financing the good movies. Bet it all on black, whatever. Bet it all on red. But this is a wild ass movie, and I liked it a lot. I'd give it like I'd give it a good 8 out of 10. It was great. And the other thing I want to recommend that's also new.
Yep.
We talk about how comedy is pretty much dying in movies, but it's still pretty solid in the realm of TV shows. And I did watch Tires season 2. Tires season 1, I barely watched for the first time like a few months ago. It's a hilarious Netflix show with Shane Gillis. It's 6 episodes. And I got into it and I only had to wait a few months for season 2 to drop. It dropped this past weekend, I think, last week. And there's 12 episodes for season 2. And they really, it's a really proper sequel. It's just, and I'm thinking maybe they'll do like a 3rd season and I'd be fine with it ending there. Because I don't want to spend too much time in this tire shop. But yeah, the guys are hilarious. There's just so much great like improv and banter, and it's just Shane Gillis and his cousin work at a tire shop that Will's dad owns. Shane Gillis's uncle owns it, but he's trying to retire. That's like part of the season 1 arc, So Will's trying to show that he could be a good manager and like help the store get profit doing like auto repairs and stuff and selling tires. And season 2 is great because it's about how Will's dad is gonna sell the company finally to Shane's dad, his brother, who's like an entrepreneur played by Thomas Hayden Church. And dude, Thomas Hayden Church is fantastic in this season.
I love him. I love him as an actor, just full stop. He's an amazing actor.
If you like him, dude, you got to watch Tires. Season 2, fantastic.
Both of these seasons are on Netflix.
Netflix, your favorite platform. So yeah, you
mate.
can watch them all.
I think I saw the trailer for this as well. It looks pretty
Listen, I'll tell you now, it's not my favorite platform. What it is the platform that my lodger has got and pays for, and therefore I'm able to watch it.
I'm kidding, man. But no, this is one of the best things I've seen on Netflix, for sure.
Enzo, is this your
this
cameo?
is one of the Yeah, no, I am Stavros. That is me. No, that's actually more like what Thunderqueef looks like, my cousin, to be honest.
I should put a caveat into this, Tires. I like the show as well, like a lot. But if you do not really dig Shane Gillis's shtick, like his,
right. Yeah.
If you don't dig his particular brand of shtick, you will not have a good time with this. Like you got to really kind of dig his particular.
But Shane Gillis is like becoming one of the most like popular stand-up comedians like on earth right now, so it seems like a lot of people like his shtick.
Wow, there you go. So if you're into Shane Gillis's shtick, then
here's the thing: Shane Gillis's shtick is very similar to my shtick. If you're watching my show, it's very
That's true.
Childish and depraved, and all in good fun.
It's not all in good fun. He's really a dick in a lot of stuff like that he does. Yeah. He's really you need to get out of here. This is a tire store. We don't sell Kleenex here, crybaby. Get out of here.
Yeah,
okay.
A whole lot of that was a great part because like season 1 is very like offensive, like misogynistically, a lot of crude lowball, like sexual humor. So season 2, obviously they have like an HR lady coming in and giving like a whole like sexual harassment in the workplace thing, and it goes just as awful as you think it would with these dudes. Oh yeah, and what's his name? Ron White has a great episode he's in. This episode had a lot of cameos. Yeah, Vince Vaughn was in one episode, and a few other great cameos. John Lovitz, he's in the first episode.
What's his name? John Lovitz.
John Lovitz. Yeah. Some good stuff. Dude,
look at
Church as Shane's dad. Dude, he's always good. So
he's
funny.
Always good. He is.
He looks like who wrote oh my god, who's the famous American writer that wrote the Tom Sawyer novel?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. God damn it, Val Kilmer almost played him. Mark Twain.
He looks like Mark Twain in this. Looks like like he's playing Mark Twain.
That was a roundabout way to get to that answer. Val Kilmer almost played him.
Yeah,
almost.
He did play him.
Playing him, however,
he did play him on a few plays, but then he got diagnosed with cancer.
Anyway. Okay, so yeah, what do you give this show out of 10?
See, the thing is, I would give it also an 8 out of 10, but it's one of the few Netflix shows or movies that I would probably rewatch.
Wow. That's saying a lot. That's saying a lot right there.
Kind of like how you'd rewatch It's Always Sunny
at regular speed.
I watched it for the first time at regular speed. That's the sign of quality.
That is
when I slow it down. I'm like, let's watch this. Let's watch this at normal speed. Let's see where that's. I did that for The Surfer too. I did. It's great.
Don't be speeding up my movie when you watch it.
Oh, the other thing about Surfer was I did not fucking pick up my phone once during that movie, that's a good sign right there.
Yeah. Did anyone else? Because I fucking hate that.
No, I was I was at the home watching it. So.
Oh, okay. All right. In that safe home. pirate ship environment. All right, good. Okay, all right, let's move on. So check out Tires, check out The Surfer. 2 solid recommendations. What was your rating out of 10 for The Surfer?
I give them both 8.
Give them both 8. Okay, all right,
Respectable.
fair enough.
Hard.
All right, we're gonna move on. I want to get group reaction now to Aliens Earth is coming, or Alien Earth is coming. Guys, we already have a star panel discussion stream lined up for the day after it drops, which means all of you are going to be on it.
Is it going to be weekly or? It's going to be weekly, isn't it?
I think it drops on the it drops on the 14th of August, which is a Wednesday, and we're going to do a discussion the day after, which is a Thursday. So it'll be an after open bar.
Honestly, I'm not even joking. I will probably be in Chicago for a gig.
Woo!
I'm kidding.
Okay. Well,
but if it's a weekly show, I guess I'll be back the next 10 weeks after that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I'll be with you.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
That's good.
It's coming.
And Rachel will bring a laptop to you guys, so you can from your hotel you can.
We're all going to Chicago, baby. We're all going.
Now, hang on. So listen, we don't know that it's going to be dreadful yet. Let's give it.
We do.
Let's give it a
We
chance.
do.
We do.
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna dig my heels in here. I'm gonna give it the acolyte test, which is I'm gonna wait until I've seen it.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. The trailer. Look, when you judge movies based on trailers, a lot of these trailers look cool. This trailer is fine. If this was not an alien movie, if this was like another type of alien, this would have been fine.
Let's just talk some things through here. We've got the cool alien aesthetic. They've gone for the same kind of technology. You've
Analog.
got the computer room. So that's all kind of cool. I like that. Okay, so Neverland.
Neverland.
Island,
Oh no.
Earth 2120. Okay, so this is a bit like a Jurassic Park island of some kind, I'm guessing. Who knows? Any thoughts? Continue.
See,
How's our
I'm getting mixed signals because, like, isn't Earth supposed to be like a polluted?
You're going to be
mess?
the first person to
Or no,
transition
it's-
from a human body
Yep.
to a
Yeah,
synthetic.
just stop there. Right. Okay.
We have
Now-
things to say.
This is the moment where I kind of thought, please, why did you have to use that word? We all know why that word was used. And 2,
What word?
transition.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
You're going
why
to be
did
the
they have
first
to use-
person to transition from a human body to a synthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so why did they have to use that word transition? We know that's a rhetorical question. Okay, so we know why they use the word transition.
So they could have said transfer, couldn't they?
Yeah, and 2, is it because I'm special? You're very special.
I love this
Right.
bald
Yeah,
cap,
I'm
you
sorry.
know, when she has this ridiculous like alien shaped head. They
Yeah.
couldn't just shave her head, you know. Because you know it's hard to tuck all that hair into a bald cap, but yeah, this is like one of these things where like this show could have been. I think we'd all be way more excited about this show if it took place like after Alien 3. You know, the fact that it takes place before the first Alien movie is just such a huge issue. It's like
huge.
It robs the mystery.
And also,
of when to discover
the
it as well.
issue, yeah.
Was it the whole point of the Prometheus movie? Like, Guy Pearce is trying to like find the cure for eternal life. Why didn't he just transition himself into an android?
Well, who knows? Well, hey, because the plot didn't demand it at that time.
He didn't want to. That's all you gotta say. He didn't want to. Yeah. Okay.
He was a
still wanted
man.
to
He
be
couldn't
fully
come up with
functional.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's
This is
watch a bit
Ridley
more.
Scott's,
Good point.
Because I'm special.
Oh, literally, I'm special.
Because I'm special.
So special.
Very.
Yeah, special needy.
All right.
Now, I do gotta say, I do like the idea that we're getting a cast of
Unknowns?
diverse,
Bad actors?
diverse, young, like looking like kind of, scrawny people, but it's explained that they're all synthetics. I actually like the idea that we have a predominantly synthetic cast. I actually like that. That's cool.
The problem is, we actually do genuinely have a very synthetic cast by the look of the acting.
Yeah.
They don't really look particularly good, if I'm honest.
That is not aliens.
All right. Can we cat claws away, please? Let's watch the rest of the trailer. So we got a spaceship crashing here. My guess is going to be this is an alien ship that's gone off course, that's collected artifacts from various planets, one of which is an alien.
Also killing hundreds, if not thousands, of people by toppling buildings over.
Yeah, that was a local Sainsbury's, that middle building. So mass casualty event.
What's on that ship?
We can.
Okay, so now who is Mothead Man? Oh, let's go back a bit. So
he's
who
like
is
your
this
Lex
guy?
Luthor, your Jason, your Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, yeah, he does, doesn't he? He does seem very kind of, hey, let's base this guy on the founder of Facebook, sort of vibe going on. Yeah.
We can do it. We're fast, strong. We don't break.
Good for you.
Fancy you.
We don't break.
That the animals put out.
That's a good. So if they're all androids, does that mean that a face hugger isn't going to impregnate them because it can sense that they're not organic? Therefore, the alien will not produce. It won't do the life cycle thing because it wouldn't be able to do that in a synthetic.
Yeah.
Would it?
No, it would not.
Ship collected 5.
Okay, so 5 different life forms only. Predator storage unit. Take note. See how many chambers there are in this? There's only 5.
Different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe.
Good line.
Do you think that the penis snake will be in one of the other chambers from the Prometheus movie? Do you remember that?
If it's not,
I wouldn't put it past Ridley Scott.
Monsters.
I mean, any snake could be a penis snake if you're brave enough.
Right, what has Noah Hawley done?
I'm really hating the alarm sound being used on every Alien promo.
Yeah.
There are other sound effects from the series that you could try using.
What's Noah Hawley done? It says created by Noah Hawley. Who's Noah Hawley? Come on now.
He is Fargo, Legion, Lucy in the Sky, The Alibis, The Unusuals.
Right.
So when they say created by him, it's probably he's turned around to the executives and said, "Hey, listen, you know that alien thing that everyone likes? What about doing something like that?" That's probably as creative as it's been.
He's our next director of the untitled Star Trek.
Well, he's the right. Okay, hold on. He is the writer of all 8 episodes. Let's see if there's any co-writing credits with him. I'm just looking through to see. Hey, one of the characters in this is called CJ. Now that for me is already a bad sign. You named the character after someone from Baywatch.
Bro, I just watched Baywatch Hawaiian Wedding yesterday. It was amazing. Holy shit. I'm going to start watching Baywatch.
We'll get on to that next. Noah Hawley created it, and he's credited for 8 episodes. However, that's a inside man. However, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other writers on the show, and Dan O'Bannon gets a credit for. I mean, he's passed away now, as does Ronald Suchet, who were from Alien and Aliens, I think. So you've got 5 writers in the writers' room from the looks of it. So one of whom is De Laurentiis. So the De Laurentiis family are involved. Right. So here you go. One of the writers.
Exactly the seal of approval.
Yeah, one of the writers in the writers' room also did WandaVision, Manifest, Kindred. Kindred was all right. Archive 81 and Helix. That's Bobak Esfajani. Apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly. Lisa Long did 1 episode. Lisa Long has done The Terminal List, Reprisal, Channel Zero. Those are her only credits. So relatively new to the game. Maria Melanick has done 1 episode. She has done escape room tournaments. She's done 8 episodes of American Gods. So there you go. So there's
I should imagine that every single one of those people that have those different credits are people that have had those credits within other writers' rooms rather than sole credits.
One of them was the lead writer on American Gods because she did all 8 episodes. So she'd be the lead writer. She did all 8. Let's have a look at it a little bit more here. Okay, weaponry. Interesting. So there's a pulse rifle there. If you look at the weapon here, that's a pulse rifle. This one is a variation of a pulse rifle. With much longer magazines. That was always one of the things with the pulse rifle was how are there 99 rounds in that magazine? I have no idea. No one ever thinks about that. Okay. So is that a face hugger? What's in there? What's in that thing? On the right there. Anyone?
Oh, no.
No, I don't care.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about Mexico.
Something. Yeah, so I was gonna say
Invasive
something,
species.
something you can find at the Asian market to eat.
Literally.
Mexican food.
Now, what's going on with the 3-horned goat?
It's those are
Oh,
like
that's a
prongs. Those are like nodes that are attached to his head. You know.
Oh yeah. Sorry, you're right.
Picking
I just
up
realized.
readings, yeah.
Thanks for pointing that
Don't
out.
lock them down.
I see Timothy Elephant's in it. What's that?
It will be too late.
Ooh, there you go. That's that. Well, you know, I could tell you what that looks like, but let's not go there. Okay, this guy has Star Trek red shirt written all over him.
Well, that's the sign that you're gonna die in an alien movie when slime drips on your shoulder.
Hang on. Now, what was that thing?
Go
just
back.
in the
Yeah,
shot?
go back.
Yeah,
If you press, oh God, what's it called? If you press the comma or period button, you can go
There you
frame
go,
by
I got
frame.
it. I got it. What the fuck is this thing? It's like a squid with 6 eyeballs on the top of its body.
I definitely will not kill you.
This is like the
So-
xenomorph version of the what were those things in The Last Jedi? Those little penguin
What
things?
was those pogs things?
Oh God,
Porgs.
porg.
Yeah, this is like a porg for xenomorphs. Yeah. there you go.
One of the lines in this trailer is there are 5 species on board that ship that crashes, so this must be one of the others.
This is from the darkest corner of the universe.
Yeah.
Cute little guy.
Yeah, and we know that because it's dark.
It's the
universe is
eyeball
dark.
from Flight of the Navigator.
Wild.
Okay. Oh, is that a run into a smooch? What's happening there?
Now kiss.
I do like seeing aliens of different colors. I like xenomorphs that are like brown and green and like they're always black, you know?
There you go. Look at that facehugger leaping in the air there.
Mhm.
I mean, listen, I'll be honest, when I watched this trailer, I thought, okay, it wasn't as awful as I was expecting because the teasers all looked pretty pants. This at least looks like it might have some interesting scenes.
We're actually seeing footage from the actual show this time and dialogue.
Yeah. So I'll give everyone a brief word. Rachel?
I have very little hope for it. At this point, I just know that it's going to go wrong. I feel it that it's going to go wrong. I wish it was great. I wish that I could have hope for this. But every time I get excited for an alien property, I get let down.
Well, temper your expectations. That's a good tactic because you never know. Then you might be pleasantly surprised. Otherwise, yeah,
Maybe.
you don't want to be let down. Northern.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, he
no
died.
hopes whatsoever.
No hope. All right. Inside Man.
Well, look, I mean, I worked on 2 of these, right? And it just makes me want to poke my eyes out with fucking spoons. To be honest with you, I just I'm not remotely interested at all.
Okay. Can't
I'd
wait
rather
to
eat
see what
my
you
own-
think of it then.
Right, I'd rather eat my own sick. To be honest.
Oh my god,
Well,
that's
We'll
August
provide
is
a
going to be
cup of it.
fun.
Yeah, we'll provide a cup of it to go with it.
Oh no,
Stupenzolicious.
I'm in Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like I'm lukewarm about it. I mean, there's 3 things that could have made me more exciting if it didn't take place before Alien 1. If this was if this was called Invasion Earth and that main alien we saw running around was like some kind of weird tentacle creature we've never seen before, this had nothing to do with xenomorphs, I'd be excited about it. Also, if this was a movie and not a TV show, I think horror, aliens, zombies, it does not work long form content. It's better in 90-minute, 120-minute bursts. Yeah, I don't know, and I'm sure they're gonna try to lead up I guarantee you the show's gonna end with like the fucking Nostromo being sent out, like they're gonna, something like that. It's gonna tie into the first movie like a neat little bow, and it's gonna be stupid. I don't know, it's a lot of member berries, but this could be cool if we just turn our brains off and don't think about the lore and the canon. But it's impossible to do that.
Okay. Toxic.
I don't know. I mean, I'll watch it if we have to watch it to, for the show or whatever, but I have no interest after FX and Hulu have ruined other properties. I mean, I would have been excited about Timothy Olyphant and something if I hadn't seen Justified Primeval with Blue Collar Loser last year. And it was just total dog shit. I don't see how it can be good. I'd like to do a pull an Enzo and just wait till it's all completed and then watch it.
Can we just do one stream about it, like 10 weeks, like a month or 2 from now? That'd be great.
Well,
at the end of the show,
we're going to do a stream about the first episode, and then we'll see.
Well, the first two episodes come out at once, boss.
Okay.
I had another idea. I had another idea how this could be amazing.
Yeah.
If this was totally played straight, the same exact trailer, but for no reason whatsoever, the cast was the same actors from It's Always Sunny in various roles.
Yes.
Charlie Day and Dennis, like they're just, like Dennis is the Timothy Olyphant, android with the white hair and no eyebrows, and
That could be the black guy.
Charlie's like the guy who's like, bring me the artifacts on the ship, like
artifacts. You gotta give me the artifacts. Do that.
Dee is like the main android chick who's gonna go chase the aliens away, and it's like they're not the characters from Sunny, they're literally acting, being doing the role. That would be amazing.
But in these roles, is like they're gonna let the face huggers get on them because of the implication. True. Because of the implication.
Darth Plato says for $2, I agree with Inside Man. It's going to be amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Speaking of It's Always Sunny. Speaking of It's Always Sunny, the new series will be coming out soon as well in the month.
Okay, well we're gonna move on from Aliens. I wonder if I'll get a copyright flag for that. We shall see.
I think you did it. I think you did it pretty good.
A good friend of mine recommended that I watch the show, only for me to say, buddy, I'm already watching it. And this was Siren. This is on Netflix. Not a bad show. I quite liked it because of the cast. It female-led drama. It feels like it's based on a book. I don't know if it is. It definitely feels like it's based on a book. It's got that kind of narrative flow of a novel in this genre. But basically, there are 2 sisters who were separated when they were very young. One ended up looking after the father of the other. The other immersed herself in high society, ended up with a pretty good PA job working for a family. The head of the family is Julianne Moore, and the husband is played by Kevin Bacon. Anything with Kevin Bacon in always gets a watch from me. Gotta love the bacon. And then, unfortunately, for Millie Alcock, who is the younger sister, and she's very, very good in this. I said in House of the Dragon she was going to go on to massive things because I thought she was fantastic in that. Unfortunately for her, her older sister, who's a bit wayward and somewhat gobby, played by Megan Fahey, who's also exceptionally good in this, turns up and kind of ruins everything for her. And, her life was all kind of peaceful and tranquil, but also quite fake. There's a lot of sort of undertone about society and what really happened and what the nature of the relationships are and stuff. And we're going to hear Toxic's thoughts about it. But I have to say, overall, I quite enjoyed it. There's a lot of shows like this out there. And like there's a very similar one in a sort of upper class society on Netflix where someone gets murdered at a wedding party or something and everybody has to stay on the island. And I got so fucking bored of that one. I didn't even watch the final episode. When this first started, I thought it was going to be exactly the same, and it's really not. It's actually much more interesting. The characters are really good, and you've got a fantastic cast. So overall, I really liked it, and I was quite surprised how much I got into it. Toxic, give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah, this was my pick, and it's been my pick. I missed a show or two, and I'm playing a little catch up. This is something, you know how it works in the house. The missus picks one show, you pick another. So she's suffering through a Buffy rewatch currently. So I have to suffer through her Netflix crime dramas and romantic dramas and things like that. And this is one of the ones we watched last week, and I found it to be extremely entertaining. The girl from House of Dragon, I agree, is very good. Her accent is freaking flawless. I pride myself on being able to spot a little bit of that, Aussie or UK leaking in somewhere, and I can't hear it. Maybe one of you guys can. I thought she was absolutely flawless in it, and everybody else. It is not based on a book; it's based on a play by Molly Metzler, who did adapt this limited series. And it's everything Lance said and more. I like it because I watched it along with the girlfriend, and she and I took completely different ideas away from it. When the final thought of how it ends up, and I guess I won't say it for fear of spoilers, but how the narrative ends up in the very last episode will greatly depend on really you as a person, kind of like you.
I agree with that.
One person will get one take. I know I'm one of the few TikTok weirdos that appears on your channel, but TikTok has a weird narrative. Girl boss, she did, and then there's a whole nother section that just says, someone got karma because they did the same thing with this trad wife lifestyle and stuff like that. And then I took away something completely different. I took away the fact that if you put 3 women in a room or in a closed setting, they're going to destroy each other. One person's going to take away what the other person has, because that's how women are. And that's exactly what they will do if given the opportunity. So if there's a rich, handsome guy, one woman is going to try to take him from another woman, and the other woman's going to help the other woman destroy her. And that's how things go, regardless of friendship, family, or disposition or background or anything. That's because that's how they're built. And that's what I took away from it. Of course, my girlfriend said I was stupid and I had to sleep on the couch that night, but regardless, I do think it's worth watching if you want to kind of change a pace. Can I also say, what's her name from Boogie Nights? Man, she hasn't aged a day in 20 something years. Like she's
Julianne Moore. God,
Julianne Moore. Now, granted, I concede the fact that, yes, I know Julianne Moore doesn't look like she looked in the early 90s when she was like in The Fugitive and stuff like, and Assassins and stuff. Okay, I get it. However, I look at something from like 2005 and Julianne Moore looks just exactly the same. Like she's still a star, and she acts her ass off in this. They all do. All 3 female leads really are firing on all cylinders. I had just seen how do you pronounce her name? Megan Fahey. Did I say that right, Lance?
Yeah, Megan Fahey.
She was just in a movie I watched called Drop, which was terrible. But she really redeems herself in this. She's very you like her a lot. She's that lower middle class northeastern type personality that's just struggling to get by, and she's so out of place in this thing, and then she kind of figures out how to navigate it a little bit. It's really charming to see. I like the whole thing. They're toying with the idea of doing a follow-up. I hope that they do, and if they do, I'll be watching it.
Thanks for popping in, Tooney boy. Not seen you in the chat before, so I appreciate you supporting the channel and spending some of your time with us. I hope to see you next week. Yeah, mate, I think everything you've said is right on the money, and you brought up something that anyone should mention, which, how you interpret the ending is very much depends on, I think, who you are in real life and what your approach would be if you were in the shoes of one of these characters. Who would you side with? Because there's no clear bad guys and good guys in this piece.
No.
It's much more realistic than that, even though it is a heavy stylized show. It's set up for a second season. I don't think we need one, actually. I think it's well, I don't think we need one. I'll quite happily watch it. I think that I don't think it needs to go beyond 2.
Okay.
We could have a second.
I'll tell you what they've done with the TikTok thing. They've brilliantly advertised this thing on TikTok by getting and it's so smart. All they had to do was get House of Dragons girl to say a TikTok phrase, and like it's got like 17 quadrillion views on TikTok, the little clip of her saying the TikTok phrase, and it's all over the place, and people are tuning in just to watch her in that, and they're like, oh, she's so slay, she's so this, she's so that, oh my god, this is exactly what I wanted out of House of Dragons, and instead I got it here, oh my god, she's so epic. And it's like, dude, she said one phrase, like it's really not, but I mean that's how you sell your IP. So I mean, good on them, I guess.
Well, yeah, I think, I keep saying to myself, I've got to create a TikTok account for my various businesses, books, this, that, the other.
You should.
Man, I don't know. I don't have time I barely have time to run the stuff I'm doing already. Then it's like another social media thing. I need a PA.
to just run your TikTok for you.
So anyway, but Sirens, I did like it. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. Actually, of this type of show, it stands out. It's definitely a cut above a lot of these sort of 6-part kind of, because it's kind of a murder mystery at one point and then it isn't, but there are a lot of shows that are similar to this, but this one did a lot of things I didn't expect. You looked like the show was going one way. You thought something had happened, and then it kind of turned it on its head, and it did that a number of times quite successfully, which is not easy to do these days.
No,
so
it's good. I could see how you thought it was based on a book, because it does explain itself in a way that it seems like it kind of is a bit.
If you look at this blazer and you study it close, you will see that it has a logo of a number of mallard ducks scattered across the jacket. Inside Man specifically wanted me to mention that he does want one of these for Christmas. So if there's anyone out there who wants to,
that was last Christmas. That was last Christmas. So I've moved on.
Was it last Christmas? But I don't think you got one though. So we should still try.
I moved on.
Why do you want it so bad? Because of the implication?
I just, I just wanted it. I just want things, and then I suddenly don't want them. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
It was a statement to the world that he's a massive mallard, obviously.
Wasn't that just shortly after the massive statement, you being a massive bellend?
Ooh. No, that's coming later. Yeah.
You Brits and your naughty words, you.
Oh, no. So terrible. Unfortunately, I control the buttons. Oh no! What's happened?
Oh no! It's Melanie. What happened to Melanie? Are we the only ones that watched this?
Funnily enough, that brings us to your pick. So yeah, tell us why you
Well,
have picked this movie.
yeah, my pick this week is actually Blazing Saddles. I did Young Frankenstein the other week, and Blazing Saddles, I think it's marginally better than Young Frankenstein. Others would disagree, but those are his two best movies. Those are Mel Brooks' two best movies.
I've
just
always
doesn't
liked
date.
this one the most.
It's just laugh out loud. It's just pure
It really is.
laugh out loud.
It really is. You know, and you know there are so many brilliantly sculpted and crafted lines in this movie. But pretty much everything is played straight. And again, as I said the other week, you know, any movie that's got Slim Pickens in it, you know, I'm there. And he plays a great character. My favorite character has to be Hedy Lamarr. Sorry, that's Hedley Lamarr, played by Harvey Korman. I think Harvey Korman was one of the great American comedians and comedy actors.
I love that line towards the end of the film. Student, and he holds up the student ID to the movie theater. Student, but like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. But it really is genuinely a laugh a minute. This is genuinely a laugh a minute movie. And I can't think of any other movie that has this level of humor, this level of comedy. And I think where it really comes from is, I mean, obviously Richard Pryor being the writer, and obviously the actors. But this is kind of the real kind of African American humor combined with the real Jewish American humor, and it's an incredible mix. And because they're so self-deprecating, Mel Brooks is very, very self-deprecating, or as he's constantly being called, a self-loathing Jew. But I don't know any other movie that comes close to this in terms of its machine gun fire humor. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely, utterly brilliant.
Have you
very
seen
charming as well?
Have you seen any of the reaction videos on YouTube to modern audiences watching this now?
No.
Let's watch one quickly. So this is a guy who did a video 4 years ago reacting to this scene. Let's have a quick look.
I think he's saying what I think he's saying. They don't hear him because we got all that don't hear anything. I think he's saying what I think he's saying.
Hold on while I just whip this out.
He's so likable as well, Pat. He really is.
Committee. It is my privilege. Cut their music off quick as hell. To extend a laurel and hearty handshake to our new nigger.
Oh God.
What's he got the hold up for?
Absolute disbelief.
From the 70s.
So, but you know, there's quite a few of these on YouTube, and for the most part, the people watching it are pissing themselves laughing.
Yeah.
So
I think,
I mean,
you know, we have to remember one thing, that this was written by Richard Pryor. You know,
right.
So, you know, Richard Pryor wrote this, and you know, if anyone's got a problem, they have a problem with Richard Pryor. You know, we've all seen his, you know, his stand-up, you know, his famous stand-up routine, and it's a no holds barred stand-up routine. Unfortunately, it just appears that audiences in the 70s, there were particularly African American audiences in the 70s, And I still believe that African American audiences of today will, are pretty accepting of, something like this, because this is a character that really humiliates every single one of these white folks in this movie. Barring a couple, but he's the hero. This is the hero of the movie, and
Leroy's just arrived, by the way. Toxic's point.
Perfect timing.
Excellent timing. He's asking about if anyone likes Predator, Killer of Killers. Mate, we discussed that pretty near the beginning. You'll have to rewind the show. We're talking about Blazing Saddles. I'd like to know what Leroy thinks about Blazing Saddles, actually. I would like to know. Let us know in the chat, mate. We've got a full panel on here. Otherwise,
well, he would be the expert with all his Westerns knowledge.
He is. He is an expert on Westerns. That's very true. Blazing Saddles gave me sympathy flatulence. Yeah, I was recreating that scene earlier. Proctophile loves Blazing Saddles. Yeah, I'd like to know what Leroy thought of it. Yeah, but yeah, that's a very good point. That the screenplay was written by, among others, Richard Pryor, but Mel Brooks also had a hand in it.
Yes, he did. But this was this was originally the original screenplay and concept of this was Richard Pryor, because Richard Pryor was obviously due to play the character of Bart. And he did fall out with Mel Brooks because he chose a different actor. But nonetheless, I don't think it suffers for not having Richard Pryor in the lead role.
Well, I think Mel Brooks chose a different actor who didn't have a massive cocaine problem at the time.
There's probably that. That may have something to do with it, but I just think it's perfect casting all round. This is about as perfect a cast, I think, as you're ever going to get.
He's very likable, isn't he? Though he's got a real charm to him.
Oh, he's lovely. He's a lovely actor. Lovely actor.
Even when he does suffer some kind of bigotry, he still seems to have this very positive attitude that makes you just love him. And his relationship with Gene Wilder is really charming as well. These two work well.
He is very charming. I mean,
we could do a whole stream about this. Leroy's only seen some parts of Blazing Saddles.
Oh, you must watch it, Leroy. You must watch it, Leroy.
The first Black Western he saw was Posse, starring and directed by Mario Van Peebles. That's an okay film. It's not great though. I think it's
that's a long time since I saw that one. I thought, it's fine. Yeah, the chick on it was hot.
Yeah, she was.
Inside Man, I believe this is your favorite scene in the movie. Could you care to elaborate?
No. But but there is a charm about this movie. I mean, it may well have been made in the 70s, released in the same year as Young Frankenstein. But I think, this is one of those comedies that will endure, and it has endured. I mean, look, we're talking about this so many years after. It's incredible. This is what, 51 years after. So, more than half a century.
By the way, I think this actor, David Huddleston. Now I might have the wrong guy, but okay, yeah. When last time I checked, he was still alive, but obviously last time I checked, must have been pre-2016.
Has anyone ever seen? Anyone seen the Blazing Saddles TV pilot with Louis Gossett?
I have.
I saw it. Yeah, it wasn't.
What a stinker!
It was terrible.
Terrible.
It just didn't work, did it?
No.
Yes, it's on the DVD feature.
Now, Slim Pickens is in this shot, but Burt Gilliam with the red and black waistcoat, the other bad guys. you got the guys with the chopper, the Harley chopper things on their horses here. Burt Gilliam. He's still. That's right. He's still alive. This guy. And he turns up at conventions and stuff like that. He is a proper cowboy. He's got a ranch and everything in real life. This guy.
As was Slim Pickens. Well. Yeah, Slim Pickens was also a real cowboy. Yeah.
Him and Slim Pickens, I think, were pretty big buddies. But yeah, he's had a pretty interesting acting career with 96 credits. And he's done a few westerns back in the day. What a great guest he would be to interview. And I did track him down, and I did write to him. But he was a bit poorly at the time. The wagon train with the Nazis in the back. And camel guys.
Hey, where the white women at?
Dom DeLuise playing.
Now for my next impersonation, Jesse Owens.
Yeah.
You know, the real bitch was inventing the Candygram. That was the real bitch.
Oh yeah.
Candygram for mango.
Candygram for mango.
Yeah. Great film. I got to give it. A solid 9 out of 10. This one. Tox.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles, man. It's
10 out of 10.
Luke.
It's absolutely flawless. It's
Stupenzo currently muted. Rachel.
It's a 10. You can't improve on this movie. It's perfect.
It's a 2 out of 10. It's too offensive.
God damn it.
Are you serious? Is that your rating?
No. It's goddamn classic.
Yeah. This is
Inside Man.
It's got to be a 10. I mean, this is a benchmark, isn't it? This is, comedy movies aspire to be this good.
Okay. All right. Yeah, good. I can't believe this. Leroy always drops these classic lines in the chat, like, I was not a big fan of Gene Wilder.
Jesus.
Dude, you can't say shit like that on my channel. I'm like Gene Wilder's biggest fan
Get
ever.
out of here.
How can you not be a fan of Gene Wilder, man?
I love Gene Wilder. Even I was like petrified of him after, Willy Wonka. Because he was killing all those kids. But even I love Gene Wilder.
Yeah, those kids are dead. He should be in jail.
Those kids had it coming, bro.
That's a ban. Oh, by the way, Leroy, if you need someone for your artwork, for your covers, for your cowboy books, look no further than Rachel Percy Commissions. There you go.
Nice.
Check her out. Great artwork. I'm sure she can do some cowboy stuff. So, in an artwork context, of course.
Not just
Rachel,
corgis.
Rachel, do you have a pick for us this week? Because I think you're the only person who hasn't gone yet.
I do. I have a series that premiered on BritBox this week. It's In the Dark.
My girlfriend's gonna make me watch
that's
that.
the one set in Germany with the weird time travel shit going on, right?
No.
I wish.
Oh, hang on. That's the TV series called Dark. Sorry. But in the Dark. Is this the one with Maya Burr? Is this the one with Maya Burring, or is okay.
Yeah, that's it. Not whatever that was.
Dark is the one I was thinking of. Sorry. I think I've seen this actually.
Yes.
Well, I have seen it.
Yeah, it's from 2017. Sometimes BritBox gets them years later than they technically should, but it's a nice 4-part mystery series. It's based on books by Mark Billingham, which really, really great books. Probably would rather read the book, but that's just me. But it's a great mystery series. Mayana Burning is fabulous in it. Watch it just for her performance if you aren't a fan of mysteries. She's fantastic all the way through from beginning to end. Both stories are incredibly gripping. You don't think that you've watched the entire series because it feels like you just started it and it's over. Very watchable. It's the story of a detective that has to go back to her hometown because her best friend's daughter has been kidnapped and they think her best friend was involved in it. I won't tell anybody how the story goes. They're really twisty. Very well written.
All right. Okay. See, other people have seen Dark. Was that the only recommendation you had for us this week?
Yep, that's it for this week.
What'd you give it out of 10?
Cool.
I give it an 8. Give it an 8. It's a very good series.
See, Enzo likes it when both the shows, the films, and the presentation of shows and films are short. Okay, yeah. Excellent.
Yeah. He can watch it on double speed.
Right.
Triple speed. No.
Nice.
Okay.
I've got another one, Lance. If we've got time.
We got time for one more. Go for it.
Down below, Looper. The Rian Johnson timey-wimey, wimbly-wombly murder mystery set in Kansas City. Just recently watched that again since it originally came out, and got the girlfriend to watch it with me. She liked it. I think it's really good. I know that Rian Johnson is not everybody's favorite Star Wars director, but I think when he does other stuff that's within his wheelhouse, I think he does really well. And, with Bruce Willis, unfortunately getting on with his, his health deteriorating and things of that nature, I thought I'd, throw on a Bruce that wasn't, was off the beaten path a little bit. I'm a huge Joseph Gordon-Levitt fan. 500 Days of Summer is one of my favorite movies, and he's the best thing in it. He's also the best thing in this. He channels Bruce Willis surprisingly well. When did this come out? 2012, I believe. Okay, yeah, I'm just struggling to find it, but Looper,
did Rian Johnson direct it, or did he just write it?
I thought he directed it as well. I might be wrong on that. If I am wrong, I apologize.
He's the only directing credit he's got for 2012 is Looper.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said something else.
I said Looper. Yeah, no, Looper.
The Inside Man just mysteriously appeared on camera for 1 second. I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to edit that. We'll have to edit that out later.
Leave it in. But yeah,
dude,
usually
I misheard you.
It's okay.
I thought
a lot
you
of it is
down below.
Hey Gary, how are you, buddy? No, Looper. And a cool fun fact is a lot of it was filmed nearby where I live out here in Kansas. So I thought that's pretty cool. I like anything that has like a Kansas setting that's not like in an old West thing. A lot of the supporting characters.
I think this was one of Bruce Willis's last like good movies. Actually,
I think that's probably accurate. Yeah, I think this.
Yeah, because a year later we had Die Hard 5, didn't we? And we all know how that turned out to be.
Yeah, he started to do a lot of direct to video, like direct to streaming type stuff, and I guess we kind of know why now. Trying to shore up some resources. God bless him. Emily Blunt is great in this, and the twist in it is really good. Now, if you're one of those people that pick apart time travel films and TV shows, and you got to have them adhere to some sort of certain thing or whatever, you're not going to like it, because it steps all over itself with its plot of the time travel thing works exactly. There's a lot of silliness to it. Like, why do they need to hide bodies in the past if the thing with Bruce Willis happens in the future and they didn't bother hiding the bodies then? So you know what I mean? Like it really steps on its own plot. But like I said, all the supporting characters are really, really good. And I think the overall story's good. And it's basically like a redemption story as far as that goes. And they have this, the great scene where we see what might have been happen and how that plays out. And I thought that was really good as well. So yeah, just my movie pick of the week if you want to pull something up, out of the closet a little bit.
No, I saw this at the cinema. I went with my ex-partner to see it. In fact, from what I recall, it was one of the first films we saw together when she first moved over here. And yeah, I thought it was okay. I don't know if there was something about it that was missing for me. It kind of had some cool things going on, but it wasn't like when I left the cinema, I thought, wow, that was one of the best movies I'd ever seen. It was okay. I mean, for me, it's like a 7 out of 10. What would you give it?
I would also give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, its plot kind of trips on its own, and it suffers under the own weight. Like if a repeated viewing of it, you start to go, well, wait a minute, how come blah, blah, blah. But Emily Blunt's really good in it. And, all the actors and the performances are really great. And, some of it's actually borderline horror movie creepiness, where they have the the guy that runs out of his loop, and they have to figure out where he is. So they start, cutting on the younger guy to make the older guy compelled to turn himself in and stuff like that. So
that was disturbing. That was.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing, but I like it for what it is. And like I said, I realize that Rian Johnson is not everybody's favorite person, but I thought this was really good. I think when he's doing things that he's supposed to be doing, I think he does very well. I think he, was mismanaged to go into the Star Wars realm as far as that goes. But hey, it is what it is. This is still a good little gem from the early 2010s if you're a mind to take a look at it.
Uber mention says, I see what you did with the name there. Looper was cool. Yeah, not seen you in the chat before. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah, so it's okay. I mean, it's not too bad. By the way, smash the like button, guys, if you haven't done it already. And Stupenzo's got to go. So he's got to go and talk about a bunch of
Nadia's Vincent Price tier stream. It starts in 3 minutes. But yeah, Looper's all right. The problem with Looper is like you can only really have like one fantastical element in your movie, like time travel. But then when you throw like another one, like telekinesis in there, it gets silly. Yeah, it's like, oh man. True. But also, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's makeup is funny in this movie. But yeah, guys, just go ahead and check out my channel, check out Nadia's stream later. And it was good watching talk about movies with you. I guess next week, next Tuesday, I'll talk about. I watched some old movies for the first time. I'd never seen Gone in 60 Seconds before. I'd never seen Coyote Ugly before.
Oh wow!
I had never. Yeah. So we'll talk about some crazy shit next week. I have some thoughts about those movies for sure.
Awesome.
There was. I also rewatched Mission to Mars, which is fun. All right. Well, I gotta go, guys. But it was good.
How we looking on that Nosferatu video?
You mean Renfield?
Renfield, yeah.
Renfield. Probably never going to happen. I'm in the groove now.
Stupenzo, tell Nadia I hope she talks about The House with the Long Shadows.
That is not on the list that I had to watch, but I wouldn't be surprised if I get there right now and find out there's a bunch of movies that were on a new list that I never received. We'll see. I watched like 30 Vincent Price movies. Also, the stream got delayed like 4 times. So like I watched a bunch of these movies like in December. So I don't remember a lot of them.
Wasn't it House of Dark Shadows?
Yeah.
House of the Long Shadows.
Dark Shadows.
Yeah. House of the Long Shadows.
I did like
Dark Shadows.
I did like Theater of Blood a lot. I liked the original Fly and the sequel to it.
The original Fly is amazing.
Yeah. All right, guys, I gotta go. Bye.
All right, okay. Say hi to Nadia from me. Yeah, okay. So Stupenzo has gone. Well, we're just about to start wrapping things up anyway, but no, that film is House of the Long Shadows. Is the one I'm talking about. So, which one are you talking about, Inside Man?
The House of Dark Shadows.
No, I'm talking about this one. Which is not
the House of... Yeah, well, I'm not.
No, well, yeah, this is the one that's got Vincent Price in it.
Yeah, and the one that I'm talking about hasn't, so there.
Yeah. So, there you go. But this is a good suggestion, is it not? When's the time travel? Chew the Fat picks. I like that. Top 5 time travel movies. That's a pretty good one.
It's a good idea.
There's been quite a lot. I mean, what's the H.G. Wells one?
Time Machine.
Yeah, the time machine. I mean, that's got to be on there for me. Back to the Future. Question is, how many of the Back to the Future movies do you put in your top 5? Because they are all very good, especially the second one. But that's a good one. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of like small indie sci-fi.
Yeah, there are
time travel films that are really good. My Science Project is a good one. I really like that film.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Bill and Ted, both the Bill and Ted ones, I think. Lord Toxic's got a sex emergency, so he's got to jet out as well. So Thanks for coming on, buddy. Yeah, so I hope whatever's going on is not too serious. All right, okay, listen, we're going to wrap up because my voice is dead. I've just done 3 streams in a row. I did an industry interview, then I did an hour-long production meeting, which was also a live stream, and now this. So, yeah, do check out the work of my guests. Northern English Bastard is dropping videos left, right, and centre, but unfortunately, this is going to be his last Nielsen ratings for a while.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff I need to really catch up and get to work on at the moment as well. And but it has been a pleasure coming on here, and I will be back as long as I get all my BS out of the way, and hopefully it'll be very soon.
I just think that everyone should really take note and keep an eye on your channel, because I've seen the Bond videos that you've been producing that are already scheduled and everything, and they're tip top. They're really, really good. So anyone who's watching, who's really, really into Bond, just like and subscribe to Northern English Bastard's channel. His stuff coming up for Bond is fantastic. Believe me, it's absolutely fantastic.
And we did talk about doing a top 5 chew the fat on top 5 like Bond action sequences.
Yeah.
I'll be up for that. That's another one. Yeah, you can definitely be on that, mate, if we do that. But Rachel, so you see, out with the old and in with the young and better looking. Rachel's only been here for a couple of weeks and she's kicked Northern Bastard off already. So well done. Your Machiavellian plan worked. No, I mean, it's good to take a break from YouTube from time to time, and it's also good to prioritize your life. I mean, we don't have Nielsen ratings in 2 weeks because I've got work on. It's a bit heavy. And, I mean, when there's stuff on in life that's important to take part in, that always comes first for me. Hence, no streaming this Saturday because I am raving. It is the Orange Reunion Party Part 3. Going to be amazing. Can't wait to go to that at Camden Palace. Okay. So there's Nielsen ratings next Tuesday. There is no Nielsen ratings the Tuesday after that. However, if we have loads of production stuff to do, we may postpone both. But I think we will be on next week. There's no Chew the Fat this Sunday. I need a day off, so we're nothing on this Sunday. Nielsen ratings in 1 week's time, and then we've got a break on the channel for a week, so nothing on the channel for a week after that because I'm in production. Then when we get into July, I have a whole ton of interviews coming of people from music, film, novelists, all kinds of stuff, because I couldn't do too many interviews in June. That's why I had two days in a row. Had a great one earlier today with a producer and a filmmaker, which was loads of fun. And I've got loads more lined up for July because there's a whole load of people wanting to come on. So don't forget, if you are a creative and you've got something you want to plug, do give us a shout. Come and say hi via either the Twitter page or the Outcast Creative Facebook page, and we'll get you on. Thanks to everybody in the chat for taking part. Gary Bolter, actor, never, better late than never. See what I did there? Time After Time. That is a fantastic time travel movie. I do love that film. Really,
Time
really
After Time.
good.
What's that one?
That's the one with Malcolm McDowell where he goes back in time to stop Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Such
And of
a
course,
good movie. What a great concept.
Somewhere in Time with Christopher Reeve as well. That's
that film. I probably would enjoy that film more now.
Yeah, it's very melancholy, isn't it? It's a very melancholy movie.
It's quite heavy. Yeah.
Yeah, with a great score by John Barry, though, one of his finest, I think.
Yeah, nice score, but that score does make the film even more melancholy. Yeah. But anyway, okay, so that's it. Don't forget to check in on the people that you care about, especially in modern times that we live in. The news was particularly unpleasant today. I wish I hadn't turned it on. My heart goes out to the people of Graz, Austria. Must be a very, very difficult night for several families over there. I just don't know what I would do in that situation. And I hope that people are rallying around and you're getting all the support that you can, is all I can say about that. So yeah, you know, if you're saying there isn't a description of the YouTube panelist in the stream, there should be. Is there not? Let me just check that real quick, because it's standard thing. Yeah, there is. There is. Slightly out of date though. We don't have Rachel in there, so I do need to update that. But there is a description of the various panelists. You've got their X's and stuff. There's not everybody's YouTube links are on there, but you can find them. Just there's one link for everyone, so you will be able to find them. In the meantime, that's it. So that's good night from me.
And it's cheerio from them.
Indeed. Until next time.